Are you sitting comfortably? Then we'll begin.
Once upon a time, in a faraway land called Reading, Reading in Berkshire, a little British company called Interread made a device known as an ebook reader. And that little ebook reader was called the Cooler. And the Cooler's aim was to make sure you could read electronic versions of books wherever you are, on buses, trains, tubes, and even on aeroplanes.
E-book readers have been around for a while. Indeed, Amazon's Kindle e-book took the world by storm when it was launched in America earlier this year. But I've never really been convinced by the concept. For me, there is something about the printed word that is king. Frederick Engels just comes alive when he's black ink, in Times New Roman, single spacing, in glorious paperback. What I want to know is whether the Cooler can deliver something more than the Kindle e-reader or the Iliad that we tested out last year. Claudie?
Well, funny you should mention the Kindle, Harry, because the Cooler is actually less well-spec'd than Amazon's device. The Amazon Kindle allows you to download books over the air, straight onto your ebook reader. The Cooler, on the other hand, needs to be side-loaded with books, either via USB or an SD memory card. However, what it does have in its favour is size and price. At £189, it's one of the cheapest ebook readers available on the market, and they've achieved that by cutting it right back to its basics. It's incredibly thin, thinner even than an iPhone 3G, and it's half the weight of an Amazon Kindle. It's able to last for about 8,000 page turns as well on a single charge. That's enough to get you through War and Peace twice.
Putting aside my qualms about the e-book as a concept, what we really need to ask is how the Cooler stacks up when it comes to selection of authors and titles, because it claims to offer more than Amazon does with its Kindle.
Absolutely. The big benefit of an Amazon Kindle is that, of course, you've got the entire bookstore of Amazon at your disposal. Now, Interread, the company behind the Cooler, has tried to do something similar with its own bookstore, but titles seem to be very much skewed in favour of sort of older books rather than modern classics, as I would call them. So you can get your Frederick Engels on there, but you can't get your Jackie Collins Bonkbuster. And I think until they start to address that side of things, ebooks and ebook readers are going to remain the preserve of niche specialist geeks rather than good old-fashioned consumers.
It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good ebook reader can in fact have a fine reading experience. The e-ink technology used by the Cooler is very good. It's got none of the flicker associated with a computer, and when you turn the pages, it's a little slow, but I think you get used to it after a while. My major problem with this is the selection of books. It's all very good, and I applaud it for having the full back catalogue of communist writers, but not to have any Nick Hornby or William Dalrymple or any of the selection you would find in a standard airport bookshop is something that's a major flaw. And for that reason, I'm going to give it 4 out of 10.
I think you're being a tiny bit hard there on the old Cooler e-reader, Harry. At the end of the day, it's a very nice bit of technology. It's thin, it's light, it's portable, and it does actually do the job surprisingly well, and at £189 is going to appeal to a lot of people. But I do agree with you, the selection of books continues to be a problem, and I think that's less to do with this product and this device than the publishing industry as a whole. But the Cooler, for my mind, is still a good purchase if you're in the market for an e-book, so I'm going to give it a lovely 8 out of 10. The end.